Okay, as you can see from the top of the title, I'm gonna get in straight to this topic. Let's start simply by saying I don't know if I'm gonna discuss the social structure, but first I'm gonna deconstruct the kind of social elements and the elements of the educational system. So first, let's start with what they teach. What they teach is irrelevant, and they say it's irrelevant. All my language skills and all my kind of speaking and mathematical skills were taught from my own family. So if that shows anything. And everything else, like from school, that people say school's so important, it's this and it's that. What's important is the high school diploma. I'm going to explain why. It allows you to get job access to a lot of things, and it shows dedication towards employers, because employers are like the worst type of people, because they pretty much are. Most of the time they are. Not there's sometimes they're pretty good people, but most often than not, people and not people, but employers. I guess people in general, but in this case, employers and kind of bosses and are generally given a very bad rap, and it's well deserved. I'm not gonna get into why, but the point is that the high school diploma kind of shows dignity, and it kind of shows commitment for employers. As we know, employers are stingy bastards. But back on topic, I'm 18, right? Like I'm like 18, yeah. So I'm 18, so I've been out of school for like a good year now. No, like a good 7-8 months. So I have a good say on this. School doesn't teach you shit. Once you're out of school, you just go out to the woofs. You do what you do. If you succeed, you succeed. School doesn't help you in the fucking slightest. If you succeed, you succeed. That's pretty much what it is. School has no factoring in that. And again, they say the education's so important, but they don't educate you on anything that's important. Like, oh yeah, maybe you should learn how to do taxes, or maybe you should learn like basic life skills like communication, among other things. Like things that could help you getting a job or getting you somewhere in your life. No, they teach you pointless shit. And another thing is, teachers are a bunch of stingy bastards oftentimes and not. And it's fucking annoying. And another thing is, like I was saying, they teach nothing of importance, yet they expect you to care so much about your education. Why should I give a shit? You didn't teach me anything fucking important. And another of the issues is the social climate. The social climate for schools and high schools are fucking horrible. It gives a bad reputation of pretty much everything. I say this from experience, and it's not wrong. It kind of gives school and high school. This is what school and high school does. It kind of puts you in reality. That's how I'm gonna word it. You kind of lived with your parents. You kind of had the gushy you were kind of centered away from the real world where things are bullshit and things sucked, right? You're at your house on your computer all day bitching about shit. That's how things were. But you go to school says life's a bitch and here's life. That's what school is for you. That's what I can tell you, at least what school does. It puts you into what life is really like. I guess it's kind of what it does. It sets you into a perspective of what life is and what it's going to be like. That's what I can say what school does. A good job of it. Sets a good scale of how you are going to be and how kind of life is. It sets a scale for that. That's what school does. If I can compliment it on that. But if you know how life is and how kind of things are in general, it's a bitch. And it's horrible and people are just full of malice and ignorance. But that is life, and that's what school does. It says, here's fucking life. It's bitchy, it fucking sucks. It's gonna keep nagging over your shoulder whenever you don't like it. It's gonna cause you more stress than it's fucking worth most of the fucking time. But school teaches you that. It's like, yeah, here's fucking life. That's what you can compliment school on. It teaches you the rough lesson of what life is like. But back on topic. The educational system. They teach you nothing that matters. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing they teach you. They don't teach you, like I said, taxes, anything really that's important. You have to learn about, the X and Y chromosomes, and even, but even nowadays they don't teach that because they have to have this fucking gender studies shit. Because it's a bunch of bullshit. The school systems. It's all, this is what it is. The school system is corrupt and it doesn't work as a structure. And it's really outdated. But they get a lot of corporate funding, they get a lot of money from shareholders and everything else. People who are even in the industry kind of admitted this. So, if this shows anything, school sucks and it's corrupt and the kind of, not corrupt, but it sucks and it's not really catered towards the modern needs of people. But the thing is, it's going to stay that way because shareholders, people who are invested in the school, government funding, yada yada. I mean, schools technically, the school systems are technically run by the government. So yes, they're going to stay the same because the financial backing. They're not going to change. I think the best advice to any person who is an adult listening, just homeschool. You can teach all the lessons. You don't need the hostile environment for your child. You can pretty much teach everything that's important. Teach some of the minor shit. Life lessons, yada yada. You can teach everything that's important about life without having the struggle and kind of hostile environment that school indoctrinates you in, too. But it's just the point that I don't get why people kind of praise school for educating people and bringing them into a good light. You don't educate anyone. You teach them nothing that matters. Yeah, you are the one to claim, people are the ones to claim that your education's so good and well funded, even though it doesn't teach you anything. But in the most advanced math, you probably can't even fit onto a fucking calculator. But you don't need to learn like taxes or anything. No, you just have to learn the most advanced math. You can't fit on a fucking calculator because you need to be a fucking mathematician or some shit. Because the school has unrealistic expectations to what is needed, and it can be shortened a lot more. The educational system could be covered in 5 years, but they want to extend it because you need that government funding. And you need that, the shareholders, you need the parents to pay for those tuitions and yada yada. It's all corporate and it's all kind of a scam, if you will. But people aren't going to acknowledge that. I guess this is kind of like the basic premise. I guess I can do a more advanced video tomorrow. But this is kind of it for my kind of tangent. I was going to go more into the social climate that school has in general, but there's no need to. Everyone has lived it. I don't need to explain to people how fucking high school and kind of grade school sucks. I don't need to explain the gist of that. I'm pretty sure most people would get it. And I think most people who kind of understand what I'm saying would understand this. Anyways, Bob74, HL White Millennial signing off.